Have y'all seen the show Mindhunters?
I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it.
Well, this has nothing to do with that. I was just gonna try and make it snappy because this episode's called Headhunters, and it's been a while since we've watched some Gravity Falls because last time we watched Gravity Falls was about a couple days before you vacated the premises, and you went out and started staying with Amy, but now you're back here and. We finished Dr. Stone, and the official announcement for Season 2 of Dr. Stone is that it's going to be in January. So, it's a hell of a long time to wait, but you know what? There's other stuff that we can use to fill in the time.
Like I said, I've had worse in terms of waiting on shit.
Yeah, me and Nick were talking earlier, we were talking about, like, Attack on Titan Season 2, how long it took. And for me, it was One Punch Man Season 2, which was 6 years.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Rick and Morty.
There's long waits between several of their seasons.
2 years between some seasons sometimes. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Then, Game of Thrones, which did not pay off at all.
Oh, God.
Season wait.
Yeah, Season 8, 2 years we had to wait.
To me, that show was a masterpiece, but that ending was...
Yeah, someone actually did a pretty cool rendition of how the show went. Yeah, it was like that perfect draw. No, it was like a perfect drawing of a horse. It was like Season 1 was like perfect, Season 2 perfect, Season 3 perfect, Season 4 a little clunky, but at the end it paid off. Season 5 really good, Season 6 really good, Season 7 a little derpy, Season 8 it's literally just like like the person with the pencil had a stroke and it kind of
didn't feel like Game of Thrones.
It didn't.
This whole season did.
Well, you know why, right?
They changed.
It felt.
No.
It felt to me like a really bad DM picked up someone else's amazing D&D campaign and had to finish it themselves, and they were just in a hurry to get to their own campaign they were excited about that they wrote. So they just completely fucked the whole like everything that had been done previously.
I'll give you all the inside scoop on what actually on what
some of the
happened.
characters got fed the fuck up and we're just like, nah, I'm out. Halfway through.
So, seasons 1 through 6 were universally loved. Like a lot of people consider those like some of the best seasons. Well, here's the thing: Benioff and Weiss, the two head producers and head writers and directors of the series, said they only wanted to do 6 seasons worth. But when HBO said, "Oh, we want to potentially do 10," they were like, "No, we don't want to do that." HBO did everything they could to try and keep them because they thought they were the winning combo. Yep. But instead, Benioff and Weiss said, "Okay, we'll do 2 more seasons, but they have to be shortened." And they're like, "Okay. So what are you thinking?" And then they presented their idea. HBO was just like, "Okay. So we'll sign you in for these last 2 years, and you all can have free reign to do whatever you want." And Benioff and Weiss themselves said that they were tired of Game of Thrones by Season 7, and they just wanted to be done. And they rushed everything.
The entire cast and crew was tired in that show. They
yeah.
said it like, good God. The amount of days they put in a year was, I think it was like 298 days straight.
Yeah.
Every year for however many.
Well, yeah, the casting, the crew especially, because the crew had to be there every day to keep everything in.
We're talking like they were in rotations of 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had first unit on this shift, second unit on this shift.
Yep.
This team's shooting this team's shooting that. They had I think probably 6 or 7 different units.
Yeah.
Like it was ridiculous.
They had several in like Northern Ireland. They had some in Spain. They had some like scattered throughout in like the Czech Republic and Romania. Just various areas that they could film and get the shots that they need. But Benioff and Weiss...
They mostly filmed the stuff in the snow and the mud.
Well, and here's what I would have done if I were HBO. If Benioff and Weiss wanted to leave Game of Thrones after Season 6, I would have let them. I would have instead put in charge David Nutter and Michael Sapochnik, the other 2 head writers and directors who directed some of the best episodes. Yeah. I would have put them in charge, and I would have said, okay, here's Benioff and Weiss's draft. You all take this and do with it what you will. And also, I would see if they wanted to extend and do a full 4 extra seasons, make it an even 10, or if they wanted to just cap it off at 8. I would have done that instead of instead of trying to keep 2 people who didn't want to be there in the first place. And it shows, man. It shows that they wanted to rush it and just get it over with. Yeah. Because
it does show.
I think part of the problem too is just the whole. Clearly, like, the books written so far have been pretty damn good to have a show based off of it like that, you know. And when they ran out of material to follow, I wonder if that's just a big downside. Like, they just weren't capable of keeping it to that same quality.
Not necessarily, because there was stuff that they wrote that was not in the books that actually people who were fans of the book were, like, shocked by as how good it was. And hell, even George R.R. Martin was a writer on several seasons and actually wrote the scene where it revealed where the White Walkers came from, because that hasn't been revealed in the books yet. And the truth is, certain parts of the show, you know, they had to change to fit the flow of how the show was going, because the books are so much bigger, so much more grand, and have so much more to them. I mean, hell, Lady Stoneheart, Daenerys's cousin, who is, you know, another competitor for, like, the seat for the game for the throne. There's just so many characters in it that they were not able to include. And also the Hound at the end of season 6, when it's revealed that he's alive, you know, that hasn't been shown in the books either. We don't even know if he is alive. There's no confirmation that he is alive or dead in the books. And that's the thing. You never know with this stuff. And
the entertainment industry.
It is.
Yeah, on the documentaries, it did show how like exhausted a lot of those people were. There were some people just refused after like season 5 or 6. They're like, I'm retired.
Well, yeah, of course.
Or, you know, because at this point you couldn't pay them enough money to stay there anymore. They made enough money to where they're satisfied with. They're at the point where they're working, you know, 12, 16-hour days every day in the biting cold, and eventually that'll run you down if you do that constantly.
Well, yeah, and then of course there's the workers in Sheffield in that massive studio that they filmed the Alien franchise, the first 2 Alien movies in, that they dedicated literally both bays in there to filming sections of Game of Thrones, and it ate up so much people's time. And yeah, it's just.
That was a very popular show.
Yes, it was.
I unfortunately didn't get to see it until it was already over, but at least I got to watch it in like good quality. You got to watch it in good spades. But speaking on this show has already completed its run. It did 2 seasons, 20 episodes each, and a lot of people say this is one of the more complete shows that Disney has ever done. And I guess we're going to see what you all think of it. So let's see. Or actually, y'all have already seen the first 2 episodes, and y'all seem to like that. But here's where like people started to like question: can this maintain its quality throughout? And a lot of people. The
first 2 episodes were really good. So.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people have the opinion that every episode of this, there's really no bad episode.
Oh, that's cool.
And I guess we'll just have to see what this
Maybe we'll think the same.
Yeah, this is a Headhunters.
Maybe I'll piss off the fan base in the comments like I did with Avatar.
Maybe. Who knows? But anyway, this is Season 1, Episode 3, Headhunters. Here we go.
Obviously an accident. Quack, 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 quack. What?
Detective will return after these messages.
All right.
That duck is a genius.
Just by smelling your breath, I can tell that you have been eating an entire tube of toothpaste?
It was so sparkly.
Hey, dude! You'll never
That's
get what
not
I
good
found.
for you.
Buried treasure!
Hey, I was gonna say that.
Except for that one.
Hello! It's just me, your Grunkle Stan!
Fair enough.
The timing of this show is amazing. There's also stuff in the intros that if you pay attention, you'll notice things, and they actually play into later episodes, but you're not sure where or how.
It was one of our most popular attractions. Before I forgot all about it. I got them all. Genghis Khan, Sherlock Holmes, some kind of, I don't know, goblin man.
Larry King.
Is anyone else getting the creeps here?
Oh no, come on. Who left the blinds open? Wax John Wilkes Booth, I'm looking in your direction. How do you fix a wax figure? You really think you could make one of these puppies?
Uncle Stan, I'm an arts and crafts master. Why do you think I always have this glue gun stuck to my arm? Ugh.
I like your gumption.
Because you're
I
irresponsible?
don't know what that word means, but thank you. I think it needs more glitter.
Agreed.
A whole
I found
bucket
my
of
pants,
glitter.
But now I'm missing my...
Corn
I can't
dogs.
believe this many people showed up.
Your uncle probably bribed him or something.
He bribed me.
But enough about me. Behold, me! Yeah! And now a word from our own...
I made this sculpture with my own 2 hands. It's covered in my blood, sweat, tears, and other fluids.
Oh,
Yeah. Next question.
Toby determined Gravity Falls gossiper. Do you really think this constitutes a wonder of the world?
Your microphone's a turkey baster, Toby.
It certainly is.
Next question.
Chandra Jimenez, a real reporter.
That's what I heard.
Pizza? I want my pizza.
That was a typo. Good night, everyone!
and he's gone. Oh, poor guy.
Well, detective, it seems you've really quacked the case.
Boo.
Stupid duck. Well, I'm gonna use the John.
How about you leave the investigating to the grown-ups, okay?
Attention all units. Steve is going to fit an entire cantaloupe in his mouth. Repeat, an entire cantaloupe.
It's a 2316.
Let's move.
An entire cantaloupe.
That's it. And we'll see who's adorable.
Aw, you sneeze like a kitten.
Not helping, Mabel.
This is the place. Got the fake IDs?
Skull fracture.
Here goes nothing.
Also, his forehead said head chin.
Serve minors.
Neck. They predicted the neck guy.
They did. They predicted the neck meme.
Neck. Neck.
Here goes nothing.
My kind of place. I'd go there and I'd be like Joe Rogan and just commentate on all the fights.
He's resting.
All right, let's just try to blend in, okay?
You got it.
I only use my right hand. The manly hand.
Left-handed.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh.
Finally, we can be alone. Cardboard cutout of female news reporter Chandra Jimenez.
That's disturbing.
You freaking nature.
Hooray!
But it has to be him. Check the X for fingerprints.
Boy, I'd be pretty embarrassed if I was you two.
You don't have the right to talk, Toby. I wonder what Chandra Jimenez would say if she saw that.
Dipper, we've come so far. We can't give up now.
But I considered everything.
Took me a second to
Weapon,
realize the rest of the
motive,
audience was just the wax
clues.
figures.
Wait a minute. What has holes in its shoes and no fingerprints? Mabel, the murderers are
Standing right behind you.
Oh.
Oh, crap.
Sherlock Holmes. Wax Coolio?
What's up, Holmes?
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
100 garage sales, son.
You tell him, Coolio.
I must warn you, these statues come at a terrible price.
$20? I'll just take them when you're not looking.
What?
I said I was gonna rob you.
And so the Hey, I told you to stop that.
Make me.
Charmed life for us cursed beings.
But we got the wrong guy.
That's lucky.
Now that you know our secret, you must die.
Oh.
That's it! We can melt them with hotty melty things.
Hey, why is there nothing in my hand?
You're not allowed to smoke on Disney. Oh.
Genghis Khan, you fell harder than the Jin Dynasty?
Ming Dynasty was pretty hard. How many people can say that they sword fought whacked Sherlock Holmes?
Will rule the night once again. Have you seen my magnifying glass? It's enormous. Any last words?
You got any sunscreen?
Got any? What? No. You sneeze like a kitten. Those policemen were right. You're adorable. Adorable!
Ew.
You know any limericks?
There once was a dude from Kentucky.
Nope. You solved the mystery after all.
I couldn't have done it without my sidekick.
No offense, Dipper, but you're the sidekick.
Then I'm gonna take a long, slow sip from my cup of coffee.
Actually, the answer is yes.
They got scalded.
So, you're a rat. Tell me about that. Hey, get back here. I'm hopping after a rat that stole my ear.
Mystery hack.
The llama hair. Llamas are nature's greatest warriors.
Thanks, Dipper.
Yeah.
But Larry King was pretty funny.
Well, Larry King is Larry King. I bet you when they brought him in, it was like, all right, what kind of lines do you want me to say? It's like, okay, we want you to say, I'm hopping after a rat who stole my ear. Why on earth would I say that? Trust me, it's in context of the episode. And he's like, all right.
Remember Larry King on South Park? He has an interview with Telly, and Telly's like, well, Larry, I'm a little high.
Gosh. And, of course, with this also was, the wax figures. I mean, that truly a supernatural thing to occur with that. I always was freaked out by wax figures.
Yeah, kind of.
When
I went to a couple wax museums, and they're kind of cool. And well, to be honest, it's really cool on Nothing Museum.
Yeah. There's two videos that actually make me laugh when it comes to wax museums. Number one, it's Troy Polamalu from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a wax figure made of him, and they told everyone, okay, we're going to put it out today. Feel free to come by and have your picture made with it. And the real Troy Polamalu was there, it dressed up in full garb and everything. And then whenever people came up to do photos with it, he would just stand really still, and then all of a sudden he'd just go, ah! Freak him out. And then the other one was Arnold Schwarzenegger, which is my favorite one. Yeah, he's in the Terminator garb, and then
Look how real it looks.
and he's like, come here closer. I want to have a picture with you. And then he goes out onto the street, and then he runs into another Terminator impersonator, and he's like,
damn, your outfit look good.
He's like, who are you? It's like, I am Cyberdyne Systems Model 101 T800. It's amazing stuff. I love it. But yeah, this series, it only gets more and more weird, and there's also I don't know if you all noticed who voiced Sherlock Holmes. It was John Oliver.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Yeah.
That's why I've been playing a bunch of the Sherlock Holmes games, and that Sherlock seemed completely different from what
he is.
My recent headcanon of him is.
Well, yeah, because the one that you have is more close to the Arthur Conan Doyle books, whereas this is a caricature of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And plus, just the whole thing with Sherlock Holmes is there's so many iterations to go off of. There's the Robert Downey Jr. one. There's the Benedict Cumberbatch one. There's the ones from the video games that you're playing. There's this one. There's all sorts to go off of.
There's been 2 voice actors for the one in the games, and I kind of like both in their own way. Like the more recent one has like a really super deep voice for him. So, but the older one was like kind of just a fast talking, like a little bit monotone, like
Elementary, my dear Watson.
He's more like I'm trying to think of like a line to say. Like, give me like a line that Holmes would say like to Watson or something. Like,
it was all elementary, my dear Watson.
He's like, it was all elementary, my dear Watson.
Okay. God, I just. Also,
he left the key in the.
Also,
the
there's
basket
another
before he
canon of
left.
Sherlock Holmes that a lot of people forget about, but is actually pretty good in its own right. Ian McKellen, Magneto from the X-Men movies. He played a 90-year-old Sherlock Holmes who went on one last mystery. He's like, oh, very well, let us go then. Yes.
I was really disappointed. I was trying to play the Lovecraft Sherlock Holmes game before I came back from vacation, and it just has huge problems, like where it's an older game. Like I couldn't get the fucking thing to save consistently.
Yeah.
So I kept having to replay parts, and eventually I got frustrated when just watched the rest of it on YouTube. Like, fuck this noise.
Well, that's fair. Well, there's certain it's like Daikatana. I just wanted to see how Daikatana went. That game is unplayable. That game is literally unplayable.
Story-wise, like, Awaken was pretty badass, but, like...
Just the consistency.
In terms of, like...
And then you played the third one.
I attempted to play the first one, and mind that combat system was so just...
It's not great,
well,
but...
Nick...
I'm still on, like, chapter, 3 right now.
Nick is playing through it, and he's modded the hell out of it.
Which it doesn't really change the combat system. It's still pretty bad.
The combat system in 2 is a lot like the one that's in the third one. So a lot of people are because
2 just looks good from like the Steam page and everything when I went to buy it. Like, it looks like I'm excited to get to 2 because it looks a lot better than the first one.
Well, the thing is, CD Projekt Red, what they do is that they consistently improve. They see what doesn't work and what does work. They improve what does work, and they take out the stuff that doesn't work. For instance, the combat system, when they did the second one, they were just like, okay, so how can we make the combat fun, but yet not too easy? Okay, let's do this. Okay, how about a grading system so that more and more enemies are able to, more enemies are able to resist you later on in the game. It's like
That's
a leveling
why
system.
I'm trying not to jump full on the hype train for Cyberpunk. Because, like, there's a lot of other people in the Discord and everything that are, like, full on, like, that hype train. And they're like, this is going to be, like, an amazing game. It's going to be one of the best games ever. And I'm just like, if you look at what they've done so far, they made a really good game. They made it better. And they made it into, like, a near perfect game that, like, everybody considers a masterpiece. And it took them 3 games to do that. They're going to a completely new genre with this that they haven't touched before.
But
so,
they're taking their time with it. They're taking more of a time with it than, say... EA did with Mass Effect 3.
The more time they take, though, the more the hype train builds, and the more room there is for people to be let down. So,
well, no, that is true because more recently, when I played The Last of Us Part 2,
they've posted
massively let down.
Yeah,
by that.
they posted like a big ass list in like the Discord of like features that are supposedly in the game and everything. And I'm like, if even like a few of those are missing off the list, I know y'all are going to be disappointed.
Well, the thing is, this isn't like Hello Games was with No Man's Sky. They were under a deadline that Sony put on them. They wanted to release the game in like 2018, maybe 2019, but instead Sony was just like, we want it out by 2016 with this release window. And they're like, okay, can we get more people to put on it? Can we get like an advance on our money so we can hire more people? No. Well, can we pull back what features were promised and everything? Because when we announced this, we announced it with all intentions to release all these features, but they won't be ready by that. No, you can't do that. And Sony pretty much just, as it was shown in the No Man's Sky video that they did for Internet Historian, just gently pushed under the van instead of like completely thrown under the bus. Yeah. They're just like a gentle nudge under the van, just like, get under there. But, okay. Anyway.
Yeah, my thing is, like, I think it will be a pretty good game. I just think that being super overhyped for it is not the best idea. Like,
I think it is going to have
I think you should expect a pretty fun game, not an amazing game. Like, and then you should expect, like, when they make a sequel to it, that to be more of an amazing game.
Well, if they do make a sequel to it,
to probably experiment,
which
see
they probably
what
will.
Works, yeah.
Well, if they do make a sequel to it, which they probably will, given how successful the first one is going to be, just from hype alone. I mean,
almost guarantee there are going to be parts of that game that come out that people have been hyped for that are really good, and then there's going to be parts of it that came out people were really hyped for that don't work quite as well. And then they'll probably improve on those parts for the next one.
Well, the thing is, they're taking their time bringing it out, which I appreciate that more than just rushing it to release like so many companies do. For instance, Anthem wasn't ready, but yet EA is just like, all right, your turn, BioWare, launch, and then they just throw them onto a catapult and throw them out there for the buzzards to eat.
Yeah, but we should probably stop.
Yeah, we need to stop ranting
so hard.
Sorry, guys. So again, this was Gravity Falls Season 1, Episode 3, Headhunters. We're gonna get on to the next one. Hopefully, you all will enjoy it. So I guess until next time, signing off. I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jacob.
We'll see you then, everybody. Peace out.